Hi, I'm Dr. Chaitra, Director of Care Homeo Clinic, practicing homeopathy at HSR Layout, Bangalore. Allergies. So many people they won't start without sneezing or without coughing, and they will never stop without nose block or whatever the sneezing or the coughing. So many people used to suffer this kind of issues. We call it as allergy without any particular reason. After all, so many investigations, after all, so many blood tests, all the reports will be fine, but then the symptoms will be there in their body, and they used to suffer a lot with this kind of issues. What is allergy? Actually, allergy is the substance which your body immune system reacts to the environment. Usually, that is not harmful. For example, dust. When we expose to dust, immediately our body will start sneezing. See, that is fine. Whenever one or two sneeze or three sneeze with normal people, that is fine. Body is trying to put that dust not to enter into our body. It is trying to put it out. So when it comes to allergy patients, those who are very sensitive, their bodies start sneezing more rapidly and more too frequently. So when this keeps repeating, the patient used to suffer a certain kinds of symptoms like watery discharge from the nose, severe watery discharge from the nose, severe watering from the eyes, nose block and cough, and severe nose itching, severe eye itching, and this kind of issues they'll usually suffer. For example, whenever the dust enters or the pollen enters or some mites enters into our nose, we have two kind of respiratory entries. One is through our mouth it has to enter, or else it has to enter through our nose. When it comes to mouth, usually body try to put it in the form of cough. When it enters through the nose, it will put it out in the form of sneezing. So the body is very sensitive. It has beautiful defense mechanism. When foreign particle or the foreign body enters into our body, for example, if you have a food which is never tried and newly, and if you feel like that food is very allergic, the digestive system will try to put it out. It is allergen, it is put it out in the form of loose stools, or it is in the form of vomiting. Like we in our respiratory system also, when we inhale few particles from outside, it will try to put it out in the form of cough, or it will try to put it in the form of sneezing. This is the defense mechanism where our body and the other foreign particle is trying to make it out. So, when to have a serious look of this allergy? What might be the complications of the allergy? Usually, it starts with sinusitis. Sinusitis means inflammation of our the sinus. We call it as maxillary sinus, ethmoid sinus. We call it as these as sinus issues. When this frequently infects, we call it as sinusitis. When sinusitis is not treated properly, it leads to allergic rhinitis, which is more little complicated than the sinusitis. In this allergic rhinitis, patient used to have this kind of allergies or sneezes, watery discharge, nose block, and facial pain, headache, and earache, also throat irritation. Everything the disease is getting worsened. It is entering into the body slowly. This we call it as allergic rhinitis. After allergic rhinitis, it starts with allergic bronchitis. When you have not treated it properly with the proper medications and with proper diet, it enters into our lungs. That we call it as allergic bronchitis. You might be seeing after all so many x-rays, after all so many MRIs, and after all the investigation except eosinophil counts, nothing will be more or nothing will be fluctuating in their body. So this condition we call it as allergic bronchitis. Frequently they suffer with cough with very mild sputum. See, whenever there which comes to allergy, the sputum or the expectoration when they cough will be very mild. They'll not have more sputum to spit it out, and the color of the sputum or the expectoration is also whitish. It won't be like yellow or green. When you get inflamed with viral or bacterial infection, the sputum of the color will be yellow or the greenish. It turns into yellow or the greenish. When it is because of allergy, maximum of the times the sputum color will be whitish. And when the allergic bronchitis is also not treated properly in a chronic way, the disease ends up in asthma. You might be seeing asthmatic patients who coughs a lot and they gasp for the air. We call it as air hunger. The airways will be very narrowed in their lungs. When it becomes very narrow, it is very difficult for the patient to breathe in and breathe out. Usually at the night these symptoms will be aggravated. While sleeping, the patient could not able to sleep or lie over at the night, then wants to sit for some time to make some relax. So this asthma patients, this the complication of this allergy. So stage by stage disease will get worse if you have not treated properly. And certain management also be done in the kind of diet or with the kind of lifestyles also. When you expose to certain allergens like dust, mites, or any kinds of pollens, or other any kinds of like milk intolerance, few patients will be having intolerance to milk, even that might trigger your problems. And few people might be allergic to animal proteins, and few people will be allergic to cold environment, few people will allergic to warm environment. It depends on person to person. Everybody will not have the same cause. Based on the cause, the allergy will be triggered. So when you are exposing to such an allergen, you should be very careful. Either you need to wear mask, or you just see what and all the preventions or precautions you can be taken before exposing to such a climate. So, and after all this, even though if you are suffering with all the kinds of issues, when it comes to diet, drink plenty of water. As the mucus discharge is more, the dehydration also becomes worse. So, intake your fluid intake. A good protein has to be taken in on a regular basis. A proper meditation and a pranayama will helps you to enhance your lungs functioning. And take steam inhalation regularly to reduce the inflammation. And then salt water gargling also will helps you in a regular maintenance. And apart from that, take good amount of vegetables, good amount of fruits, which has to be taken on the regular basis. And minimum at least 30 minutes of walk or the physical activities will be required, so that the lung functioning or the lung capacity usually will increase. So in homeopathy, definitely again the case has to be taken in detail about past, present history and of the patients. And based on the physical constitution and the mental constitution, medicines will be given, so that the symptoms wise, if we treat, so patient will become better in a gradually. So once you are in the sinusitis or allergic rhinitis stage, don't neglect it to get worsen. Take treatment as soon as possible with any kind of medication, so that it helps you to reduce your complications.